I don't mind a car just run over me, that kind, sometimes. Like, I mean, it's not suicidal. It's not suicidal thoughts, but it's like, when you cross the road, you just be like, a car run over me, then run over me lah. It's okay lah, like that. You have that kind of thought just walking by. At least I
take MC for the day, is it?
Oh my God. I mean, or whatever lah. Like, you just have a lot
for the rest of her life.
You have all these random thoughts. So it's like, I'm scared of ghosts one. I feel like ghosts is quite scary. I mean, I don't know if they exist or not, but I'm scared of ghosts. At one point, it's like you work until late night, right? Then you go toilet alone by yourself. I'll be like, just let a ghost possess me or just kill me also, I'm okay lah. Like that kind, like until that extreme one. So you'll be, it's quite normal. I would say almost everyone, or not everyone, majority of people in Big Four, they will have quite a lot of struggle lah.
That's true.
Like,
I remember my friends used to complain about that last time.
Then why do we stay there? Hello everyone, welcome back to Figuring It Out. My name is Melody.
And I'm MrMoney.
I'm Suki.
And I'm Eileen.
Okay, so as you can see here, today we have a very different setup. And in fact, we have a lot more people than usual. And that is because I want to try something different. We've received a lot of DMs regarding our previous episodes for us to answer their questions. And I thought the best way to do that was actually compile all of them into one singular video and we'll answer everything. So I've actually also created a Reddit page for you guys to submit your future questions down below so we can actually compile them easier and answer in the future episodes.
Hey, so Melody, why are we bringing Suki and Eileen into the show, not other people? Is that anything to do with the kind of questions that you've been getting?
Actually, yes. Majority of our questions have been career-based. So I thought that they actually have a lot more experience compared to the other employees because they've been through different stages of careers.
That's true. I think both of them are quite unique in the sense they've been through corporate career and at the same time now joining a startup. And I think one thing interesting, do you know that Suki actually at one point even went for Eat, Pray, Love?
Yeah, I
heard. 1
year. Yeah, actually she went a bit later compared to a lot of people. She actually started working for a couple years, then only she went to work and travel.
Yep. So I think this episode is going to be really interesting, especially those of you who actually have a lot of career questions.
Okay, so with that said, we actually have a lot of questions to get through. So I'm just going to get started and read these questions. So as I read these questions, when I'm done, maybe you guys can provide your insights, okay? Okay, so I'm going to start with question number 1. First of all, thank you so much for doing this series. This episode has helped me so much. I've been searching for this kind of content now that I'm a fresh. Would like to hear more on job hunting. Going for interviews as fresh graduate, it's so daunting. Other than technical skills, what are some behavioral aspects that employer look out for during interviews? And as for technical skills, as what you said, as fresh grads, we're coming in to learn from the ground up, other than some relevant skills we obtain from our degree. So what do hiring managers look out for during interviews other than behavioral aspects, knowing that freshies won't have the full skills to perform from the get-go? Overall, it's just so daunting. So any tips or any mental framework that I need to prep myself for the realities of job interviews? I think you can actually answer this because you yourself are a hiring manager.
I think now thinking about it, right, there are a lot of people who walk into our office for hiring, right, who display all sorts of behavior. I think both of you also, some of you sit in the interview with me and we have been to other interviews as well. And talking about the technical aspect of what they need to learn, I think there's quite a lot to unpack there.
Okay.
Yeah. I think for me, first thing is that when we look at people coming into interviews, in terms of behavior, I think having basic politeness is number 1. I think we had before once. Someone actually opened the door, right? And then I think Suki was someone who opened the door for a person. And the person just looked at Suki and just walked in without saying anything. Not even a thank you, not anything. And I think Suki was the one who interviewed the person as well.
Yeah. I was so confused. I opened the door, I was like, and the person didn't even say anything. He just walked in. I'm like, sorry, are you here for interview? Then it's like, oh yeah. Then just like short answers. I'm like, okay, you can take a seat first. I'm like, oh, this person is so off.
And since I was sitting right next to you, right, I remember that person actually gave you a side eye.
Like as if, super weird one. It's like as if like you owe her money, like that one, the first day.
You interview her or she interview you? The hell?
Yeah, man, I tell you, there are all sorts of funny people. Yeah, I think there's another one thing that you will see is that I think the most basic one, you have to be honest during your interview. Yeah, do not lie, because if you get caught lying in your interview or over boasting something, it is actually very bad. Because on the interview itself, if you lie to me, then it means that future in your job career lies. So when you want to, obviously interview, you want to say something good about yourself, right? But you must always provide substance and you must always be ready to justify. And if let's say you're really not good at something, it is better off that you just admit you're not good and you're learning. Yeah.
Can you give an example where that actually happened?
Okay. So for example, right, last time there's this one person when she came in and then he said he wanted to do sales with us. So he said like he did a lot and like tell how great he see, how he can adapt, everything all. So the first thing that I did was I asked the person, oh, okay, so last time your sales is you are mostly like people give you leads. Now you need to go out and find leads. Or yeah, but no problem. So I straight away role play the person. I said, yeah, okay, cool. Can we do a role play now? That person straight away caught off guard already. Yeah, and then definitely it was bad. Obviously it's bad, right? Then I'm like, so you got 4 years experience? Then the person, you can see from that moment on, all the confidence just start going down and just went downhill. Yeah. Yeah, it can be quite bad. So don't lie.
So they can get caught on the spot also.
Oh yeah, you can get caught on the spot. So don't lie. Politeness is definitely the most important thing. I would say that if you already display that attitude where you don't care about this job, I definitely won't hire you. Yeah.
Is it the same case for you guys also?
I would say there were times where I actually interviewed like interns, because at that point in time I was like a lead before, so I interviewed a lot of interns, right? And most of the time, right, is that they kind of rehearse the way they do the interview, and then when you ask something out of the blue, they suddenly start to stutter and everything. So you kind of know, right, whatever that they put in their head, right, is very like ChatGPT. It's like exam like that, right? It's like you remember how you're gonna say this sentence, but let's just say if I were to cut you or something like that, then they'd be like, oh, that was unexpected. that kind of feeling, yeah.
Okay, that happened to me before also. Because before...
Okay, that's true. I've seen that on her.
Before I came, I was an intern elsewhere. So I was actually rehearsing a lot of my lines because I've never been to an interview before. It was my first time and I didn't know how it was. So I until they asked me a question, then I was like, I don't know. And that was the first question, you know. I was dead already, and then the person was like, okay, then the interview is over, and I was dead. So I was like, confirm I won't get this job lah. And then suddenly the HR texts me, and then he was like, okay, I think you're suitable in a different role. We would still like to see if you would want to be in this company. And I was like, wow, that's surprising. So during the second interview, I was like, you know what, I'm not going to be that prepared. I'm just going to read through some things and then just understand what I can actually do. So when the interviewer asked me, like, what can you do, blah, 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 all that, I just answer honestly lah. Because previously I was like, okay, I need to give the most perfect answer so they want me. I couldn't even give an answer. How can they want me? So yeah, I've learned my lesson. It actually works.
I think
just be honest.
Preparing sometimes.
Correct. Don't be over prepared. But you still have to know the company background, because like my friend went to a different company. She didn't even research the company at all, you know. Then I was like, what's wrong with you?
God,
my God.
I got see more people walking in.
Actually, a lot of people walked in, they'll be like, actually, I'm not sure what's this company doing.
Bro.
Then I'll be like, don't you?
Yeah.
I'll be very confused. I have to explain to them what our company do. I'm like, that's so weird. Like, you can just search up like pretty easily and find out who's MrMoney.
Especially this, because you guys are online. I mean, we are online.
Yeah, we got see before some people will like walk in and say, hey, HR, watch your show, you know, everything all right. But actually once you ask them like, oh, which one you watch? They actually cannot answer.
Oh.
Yes, many times actually.
Serious?
Yeah. So right, do proper research before you actually go for an interview. But one thing I would like to highlight, because this person actually mentioned how to get hired better, right? So in a way, the hiring managers themselves, they already know that you do not have experience already, right? But how can you make yourself stand out further? I would say is your, I would say technical, not really technical skills, developmental skills, no. What do I say this?
Soft skills.
Yes, extra soft skills, and also show initiative that you do extracurricular activities or even like things that you go and research up online to develop those skills. Let's just say like things like Coursera, right? They offer free courses in different areas, and then there's still like a free coding school like 42KL or probably even like some other courses. I would say there's quite a lot of free courses out there and also certifications that you have, right? So you can go and search up those kind of stuff, because that will add value to the CV itself lah, if they don't want to like do freelance jobs and stuff.
But does that actually help? Because I have friends that actually do as many as they can, and you can see their LinkedIn is like packed. But then when they actually go through interview processes, they cannot even get through the first stage. Because
that's not the point. The point is actually this. Usually when you want to interview someone, I think maybe Suki add in further on this later as well. Actually what you're trying to look for in fresh grad, generally is not their qualification alone. Yeah, maybe some companies say that you need to graduate from Harvard, but generally most companies won't be looking at that, right? Now, then on the other hand, what you're trying to look for is actually does this person have the ability to self-learn and you are resourceful or not? So when we actually try to see whether you have Coursera or whatever not, right? My point is never whether can you complete it, but rather, number one, do you know how to go and look for resources and learn yourself? Then if you can complete it on your own, it means that you are quite disciplined in finishing a syllabus on your own, which means you can self-manage. So we are trying to look for these traits. Now, if you do not have these kind of traits, an enthusiasm in job, curiosity, the willingness to hard work and be emotionally resilient. For example, one of the most common questions that you will get, let's say like for us at that, we'll ask you, what's your hardest day? Yeah, what's your hardest day at work? Can you tell me about it? So usually people will be like, whoa. Then I'll ask you, what about in life or at work or at your school or school project? What's the hardest day you have faced? Have you dealt with a lecturer who actually give you a hard time? I'll ask you this kind of question.
Wow, I've never heard of this question.
Correct.
It's usually like, what's the biggest challenge you faced? And I was like, oh, okay.
So sometimes I like to be very specific so that it doesn't waste time for you to think. Yeah. So I think that's something that I always ask. Suki, what about yourself? Like when you just see this, like, because you've sat with me in interview as well, both of you as well, right? Yeah. What is it that you're trying to test for generally in reference to all this kind of technical qualification in a fresh grad?
I think like for technical aspect, right? So like what you say, like you guys mentioned doing a lot like Coursera, that kind of courses. Like when I see it, like first reaction, I will ask them, actually what you learn. I want to see that actually if they actually learn something, because a lot of people, they will do just for the sake of qualifications and they actually don't know what they learn from it. Actually they don't remember what's from it. So it's like the best thing is like to ask, actually what you learn, like what's like most beneficial from there. Like, can you tell me like some modules? Because I'll just act like, I actually don't know about this course. You tell me about it, and then like to see if they can answer the question. Or sometimes you can see some people like they will be able to answer you, but some people they can't answer you. Like they'll be like, actually I don't remember what I took, that kind of thing. I'm like, okay, maybe just try to tell me like what one takeaway, like even just one lah, because you can't just do a whole thing and you don't remember anything, right? So I think that's one thing I would look for when they have a lot of things on their CV. I just don't just look and do a lot, but you have to know what actually you get out from it. So like interviewers will ask you like, this experience, so what do you get out from this? Not just putting it on there.
Can you imagine you train a person for 1 month and say, I don't know what I learned from you. Jialat, waste time. Yeah. Another thing, I cannot tahan one. Fresh grad who walk in, and then after that, they will ask for a lot of benefits and very, very high, what do you call that? Like, okay, I'm okay in negotiation. Like, it's okay that you walk in and you tell me, hey, actually, I think I want this salary. It's okay, right? But it's the way they ask. Some of them, the way they ask it is like they're entitled. Like, I'm that good, you should be giving me. When you tell me you're that good and you should be giving me, right, I will scrutinize how good you are. So always ask in the position that you're trying to learn and trying to negotiate, not put yourself in a position and like, hey, I'm actually entitled for this. Shouldn't you give me? And then keep asking about like, how are you going to give me more work-life balance? Yeah, usually people who start their day, right, by telling me, hey, what time can I get off work? I will always ask myself this question. You haven't even come here at work, you already asked me when to finish work. Isn't it a bit like you're more interested in when finish work? Like if you ask me all the questions about your work first, and then in the end, we are about to end the interview, and they say, actually, can you tell me what's the working schedule here?
Oh, it's the way you phrase the question, is it?
Correct. It's also the order, which means your number one priority is actually you just want to work for this time to this time, and you're not interested in what we are doing. You're more interested in finding a job that fit your life, right? Than who we are as a company and what you can contribute.
I see. But isn't that how it's supposed to be like? I guess because this is a culture that social media tends to promote. Like you see a lot of those career gurus online where they'll say, okay, from HR perspective, these kinds of companies are red flags, blah, 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 blah. So they'll take these into account and actually think before they actually go into an interview, and they're like, okay, these are the questions I have to ask. So then they'll ask, but they probably won't really think about, okay, this is the format, blah, 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 because this is what is important to them. So maybe this is how they ask in their way.
That's why I say no soft skill on this kind of call. Means you can't think from another person's point of view. Yeah.
I see.
Yeah. As much as the interview is about you as the candidate, right? You must think about how you can contribute back to the company based on whatever like skills you have developed during your uni years. Let's just say like, I would like to contribute in the growth of the company because I've learned these kind of skill sets during my university days, and I feel like my problem solving skills can help the company grow further, something like that, right? Instead of saying like, what can you give me?
Yeah.
In other hand, yeah. So it's more of the phrasing of the question. Don't just make it about like you as a candidate itself lah.
But then I get a perspective because like obviously now generation is like a bit more woke. Like they like a lot of things like
I like woke.
I don't know, because like a lot of things like they want to like focus on themselves and all, right? So it's not a bad thing, but it's like in the end you still have to see from both sides. Because like eventually, like imagine if you're a boss, do you want to hire someone that's so woke? I tell you, oh, sorry, this is how I work, so you have to fit into my schedule. But this is my company. Why do I have to fit into you? So it's like, it's both ways lah. You want to find something that fits you, but the other side also trying to find someone that fits into their company.
I see. Okay. I think we've pretty much got a very good array of answers for this specific question. So I'm going to move on to question 2. I'm going to read question number 2 now. I just started my first job 5 months ago. I feel that asking question at 0, 50, 90, and 100% work is a great idea. But what should I do if the person I am supposed to report to are overloaded with work? Because I have incident where my task is already done and just waiting to be checked. And my manager only have time to check it like 4 days later. Great question. We face this a lot.
I think it's your responsibility to check. It is that person's responsibility on time to actually come back to you. Now, I think one of the things where fresh grads sometimes have this thing is that they think that if I do the work, you have to check it immediately. You have to give me the answer today. But the truth is, in every work, there's timing one.
I see.
If my life as a manager, it does not revolve around you. Because you remember, while you are complaining about, I take time to check a work, I'm checking someone else's work also, you know. I can delay the person, then the person is going to delay also. So the thing is, you have to understand everything in its own time. So what you need to do is just post up in front of boss that, okay, look, we are 50% done. Okay, what can I do while I wait for you? Yeah. Because you're not a machine, you're not production line, right? Where one stop, everything stop, right? So you should actually use that time to figure out like, okay, what else can I do? Yeah. And then maybe you can actually ask other colleagues and ask them for a bit of opinion. Yeah. So I think that is something that you should be doing lah. But you still should follow. Yeah. The world doesn't revolve around your work alone lah, put it this way. Yeah.
I agree. Okay, I'm pretty sure you guys have faced like multiple different
She
managers
always wait for
before.
me.
So I have a lot of things to say for this one. I'll say it while talking to Peter.
I'm pretty sure you guys have a lot of different managers before, so you guys probably have experience with this already.
Yes, so I've worked with quite a few bosses and all of them are very, very overloaded. Example here.
Every boss is overloaded lah, actually.
So basically what I do is that I have this tracker sheet where it tracks every single work that I've done. And then after that, I put like the progress status there as well. So I'm a person that don't like to get like bored. So I think he also knows that, right? So he knows that I'll go and find other things to do. So like what he mentioned, I'll go and see other colleagues if they need any help. Try to solve problems as I go along. But one thing is that for people who like to climb like the career ladder, I love to climb the career ladder. I love it so much. So what I do is that I will go and do more things than what I should do, and also to take initiative so that, let's just say, right, I'm a junior today. What should I do to climb to a senior? What are the things that I need to learn, right? So these are the time, while waiting for your boss, you can actually do those kind of stuff. So that once your boss see that you take initiative, you show that you can grow into a leadership position, that's where you can get like your promotion, your increment, everything will just come to play at that point in time lah. So always constantly just keep growing, because do not just wait and dwell until like your boss comes back to you, because I feel like that's a bit of a waste of time.
I see.
Yeah,
he also always tells us he likes to see people take initiative. I don't want to tell you what to do. You have to know what to do. I'm hiring people with brains. And then I was like, you need to learn how to have the brain. I was like, okay.
yes.
Actually,
But you say it in a nicer way lah.
probably I say exactly like that. Yeah. But actually, when you're saying that, right, it makes me reflect back actually what am I actually looking for in a person, you know? Do you know actually a big part of moving up your career ladder is actually self-management? Yeah. I'm not supposed to baby you the higher you go. right? So if let's say you have a work, okay, you know that you're supposed to report me in this time. Now, let's say you're supposed to get it 50% done, but only schedule it 4 days down the road. If that moment, right, you only know how to sit there and wait for me for answer and don't know how to do anything else, it tells me one thing. You do not know how to self-manage. And you do not know how to be efficient. You still need me to tell you every step. It's kind of like my son like that, right now. When he do Chinese homework, right, he do, finish already, and then he stop there. And then he wait very long. And then after he like, hey, Samuel, why are you not doing any work? Oh, I want to erase it, but I cannot find my eraser. They say, why you don't find your eraser? Because I don't know where's my eraser. Then, isn't it in your bag? Oh, I'm waiting for you to come and tell me.
That's my brother.
You get me? Yeah. So it's the same scenario at work. So actually, usually at the start, I would say that the boss's responsibility is tell you a series of things that you need to do and what you need to accomplish. So the brain part come in this. For example, if let's say we say, like right now, you're handling the figuring out podcast, right? Do you notice that my job in telling you is just, okay, look, we want to hit this number for figuring out podcast. So what we're going to do is that we're going to post certain things here and here. Now, do you notice that because you actually use your brain, now you come out with the Reddit group?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. If I were to need to tell you every single instruction, tomorrow come out with Reddit, tomorrow send this message, might as well hire a machine and do the work. Or I schedule an agentic AI to actually just plan everything for me, right?
Yeah, you won't have time if you do that.
Yeah. And also I want your creativity, ma.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Because
true.
if you ask me, would I have created a Reddit group? I wouldn't. Yeah, I would have done it differently. And so I think that's a good job done like that.
Oh, shit. Faster flow.
Suki,
I got both perspective lah. Since I've like kind of be a boss, I manage people and also I work with people as well. I'll say from working wise, if I'm employee and I face this kind of situation, I will actually go. I would first assess like the priority of this task. Like, is this urgent? Like, if I know it's urgent and I cannot wait until 4 days later for this person to check, I'll actually go to my boss and say, I just need 5 minutes of your time. Like, I'll tell him and this 5 minutes, you have to structure your questions like properly, like questions or updates. So I'll just give updates. So I've done this. And so what's next? And then if there's a solution I need from this person, I'll straight away tell them, so this is what I need from you right now. So then I straight away give them an update and they know what's the status of this task. If they still cannot give me an answer within the 5 minutes, but I already updated at that point of time, so it's for them to come back to me afterwards already. So I this is how I will approach it. So other than like waiting for 4 days later. Yeah, because I do agree with them, the initiative or learning everything, that you can just do that on the go after you do a 5 minutes updates.
Yeah, actually both of them do that to me. These two things.
Damn smart.
Because
They make me the ask
then
straight away.
I do realize also after I become when I lead a team, then when I assign tasks, sometimes when I overload with work and I'm waiting to be checked, then I realize like certain tasks is until 4 days later because they are not a priority task. This is why we can let them to check. You can leave it to be checked until later. So what I would suggest my staff to do at that point in time is come and ask me what are the tasks you need to be done within after that lah. Just don't dwell on getting this thing to check. If you're done, then just move on first.
I see.
But I have a question. I want to ask you all. So, right, there are also situations where I notice, right, like if let's say you assign the task to the staff already, right, and then they already completed it, and you know that needs to be done, but it's not urgent. And then when you tell them, it's not urgent, let's get back to it later, right? And some of the staff will be like, then what you ask me to do if it's not urgent? They're like, but it needs to be done. It's just not urgent. You just finish it very fast. Nothing to do with me, right? It's my timeline, ma. Yeah. So do you all face this kind of situation before? Or you all think about it before? You all seen it before?
Actually, yes. I've been the one that complained before. Like my boss have assigned me tasks before and I'll be like, then I finish already. Then my boss is like, they didn't even use a report that I prepared. Like I spent weekends doing it overtime and they say I don't need it already. Or they say okay, just leave it there. I'll do it later. I'll look at it later. Then I'll be like, but you tell me this is urgent and I prepared. Then I'll get
okay, because he said urgent lah.
Yeah,
right.
he said urgent. They said urgent. So I think it's the way you put it. So it's right now, if I'm the one that assigning tasks, of course I'll be I need to make sure, I tell them like, this is not urgent, you can get it done later. But if I notice that they have been pushing back on this thing, like they've been dragging it, then I'll just straight away tell them, I'll give you this deadline, you do it this week. Even though it's not urgent, but it kind of give them too much relax. Like they find it very relaxed, like maybe I don't need to get it done soon. So you need to find like the balance. If you've seen people like sacking off, maybe you should, like, then that's when I'll put a deadline. Say I'll get this done.
Correct.
I understand that perspective because I'm currently in sort of that position. Because sometimes I'll set, because I plan like the posting dates and all that. So
now you're starting in lead
yeah,
team.
so I set the timeline and then they'll say, okay, I need to rush halfway. And then they're like, okay, I'm done already. But then and then I'll take some time to check because I have a lot of works to do as well. So I'll take some time to check and they're like, oh, when are you going to check? And then I realized that, oh, actually they've dragged, like we've discussed with the other teams and all that, we're going to drag our posting date later. And they're like, oh. So but what I realized is, for my team, this is how they prefer it. Like I'll sit down and explain to them, this is why it was delayed. This is why it's not as urgent anymore, but you still have to make it one of your priorities because we still have to post it. So it would be best for you to finish earlier so you don't feel like you're constantly like drowning in work. So all we have to do is just schedule everything. Then they're like, oh, okay. Then they'll feel a lot more like empowered to just finish early.
Imagine you need to do this with 30 people, 20 people. That's when you will feel, you will understand how all these people feel.
Luckily, it's not me.
But for me, I would say I do a very different approach than everyone else here because I feel like for me is that if I cannot feel my work, very hard for me to sleep one because I'm a workaholic.
This girl.
She's different breed.
Wow. She's a different league. This machine. This girl.
So right,
damn
what
faster.
I would do, I would actually say like it's damn important, even though it's not important. I'm sorry, my team.
No, wait. Sometimes I tell her, not important. She tell me back it's important also.
Damn.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. So sometimes, I'll just tell them, it's very important, you must finish it fast. So that next time, they can actually enjoy the fruits of their labor faster also. Yeah. So that's one trick that I usually do. However, I do have one question for Peter, right?
I'm very scared.
I'm scared for you, so.
I think like coming from like a fresh grad to where I am today, right? There's always one fear that I always have because like I like to chase people for things. I think I always chase you.
Yeah.
Via text, via call, or even like just go by him like, I got 5 minutes that kind of thing, right? Do you feel like I'm annoying?
No, actually, there's few different kind of people in the office. There are some that when they chase me that time, I will feel a bit annoyed because when the way they ask me the question, I don't know what to say.
Oh, like how?
So correct. So for example, like Suki earlier mentioned, when they come to me, they say, I just need an update from you. Right? So let's say, for example, Eileen also does that one. Okay, I need this update from you. I'm okay, because you tell me exactly what I need to think. The kind that usually makes me very confused, right, is they suddenly come to me, with no context, they say, hey, this one can you approve? Then you like, actually, what is this? Or either they say, hey, this one I assigned to this one. Wait, actually, what is this? Then they were like, oh, this one that day we say, this one. Say what?
Also need context.
Correct. So it's not structured. Like number one, you're not asking me for a specific answer. And then they will say, what you think. Now, imagine I come to you, right? FIO, suddenly you're very busy, right? So I come to you and say, hey, FIO got a lot of comment on what you think.
Okay, lor.
What are you going to answer? You don't know what to answer, right? Do you notice? For you as a staff, when you don't know what to answer, it's okay. As a boss, if I look at you like that, right? Chances are, after you walk off, you're going to be saying like, the guy don't know what's he doing. And you'll complain. Now, and then if let's say I say that, okay, then guess what? Chances are you already have certain idea in your heart of what you want to do with that comment. And then after you go and execute it, and you say, they say, okay, and we get into trouble because you only come to me for a decision, most of the time.
I see.
And so if I do not have enough information, whatever I answer you, even if it is a silence, it is a decision.
I see.
Yeah.
What?
Even with me saying, can we deal with this later? The hit that goes in for you will be, my boss said this is not urgent. But actually, I don't even know what you're asking.
Actually, because communication is on both ends, ma. Why not just reply like, actually, can you elaborate a little bit more? I need more context on this.
So usually I will ask this question.
Oh.
But once I ask this question, there are a few things that can happen. Again, if you are already not a very good communicator, sometimes they will tell me a very long grandmother story. And that 5 minute now becomes 15. And usually when they elaborate, they bring in more problems for me to solve.
Oh.
So I'm not prepared for it. So in my earlier days, when the company grew, I used to entertain. But after a while, I realized that I really don't have time. So nowadays, whenever someone comes to me, if they cannot structure, that's when they will think that I'm very fierce. Because I'll ask, wait, stop. What do you want from me? I'll ask like that. And then they're like, why you talk to people like that? No, because I really need to know what you want from me. Because I cannot simply answer. Once I answer, there's a problem. Yeah, I can tell you yes, no, no, yes. But if I do not know enough, then later I have to change my mind, right? Yeah.
And then we need to learn how to structure our questions and problems beforehand so we can make the whole process easier for both ends.
Yeah. So sometimes I'll even ask them, if they ask me like, okay, I need your approval on this based on this conversation the other day. Then sometimes if I really can't make decision, I ask them, what is the consequence? Then they will tell me also, okay, the consequence is this and this. Then I'm like, okay, let's do this. The worst is this is gonna happen. So very clear on, that's why every time this both fella can ask me for question, I'm okay.
Wow,
You can entertain. I can entertain anytime, 5 minutes. But like when you ask me those things that I cannot answer, I think in big corporate, the CEO will just tell you don't come near me at all. And usually, yeah,
The doors are closed.
the door closed immediately. Please don't come in.
Hey, we should do Monday workshop. How to ask questions. Really?
Maybe figure it out on Monday, right?
Yeah.
Actually, come to think of it, actually a lot of our teammates are actually fresh grad, right?
Yeah.
So these things are not clear to them, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because our teachers got time to listen.
Right.
Yeah, and then we banter among the group mates first. Banter. Then we go to teacher. And then teacher's like, wait, actually, what do you want? And then she was like, okay, let's set up a meeting and then I'll call with you guys. So they got time for us. Yeah, but we realized that boss actually not that much time.
Actually, you need to ask for time and tell boss why you need to give me time.
Yeah.
So like a lot of times, right, I also realized that many staff like to make this assumption that boss is very busy, therefore I don't go and ask anything. But that is worse.
Oh.
Yeah, that is worse. Yeah. Because when you don't ask anything, right, then nothing gets done.
Still ask. Like if you're unsure, always ask. Yeah, don't sing mok, do yourself.
Oh, very good, very good.
Yeah, of course.
He's got
Boss,
figured out already.
later you do it 100%, he tell you everything wrong, then GG. You need to start from zero. Okay, we move on to third question. Okay, so let me start. What if your workload is way above your limit and you've already discussed with your boss, but he continues to give you more and you end up depressed? How to resolve that? This is due to production issues and missing headcounts in my team. Nothing wrong with the company itself. So who wants to start?
Again, I start. Well, it looks like a lot of the question today is I start on. Like I'm answering for all the bosses in the world.
Yeah, you
like
come
that,
from a boss point of view,
because you're
and
the
then
only
Suki,
boss
I'm
here.
the one who can give answer, is it?
Yeah.
Right. I think this comes down to two parts to it, right? Number one, if you say that you're already overloaded, I always ask myself these 3 questions, or at least these 2 questions, whenever my staff say they're overloaded. Number one, I will always ask this one thing: do they actually know what they need to do? Yeah. Because for example, right, if let's say I need you to hammer a nail and then you are actually a screwdriver, obviously you'll always be overloaded, right?
That's true.
Because
you're not equipped.
You're not equipped, right? So then the thing is that, are you in the right place? Okay. Number 2, so you are thinking about not enough people. No, my answer is never straight away not enough people. It's always what's the process. That's why you'll notice I always come to you when you tell me very busy, I ask you what's the process.
Yeah, yesterday he was like, don't you think you spend too much time doing this here? I was like, got points, but let me tell you how, blah, 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 blah. And then we, yep, and then we come to a conclusion.
Yeah, so you notice like even just now that dashboard that we all shared is because I always think about process. So when I think about process, then I can think about how systems interact already. Yeah, so maybe you may not have the skill set, that's number 1, right? Number 2, are you efficient enough?
Oh.
Yeah. And number 3 is, do you have a clear direction of what needs to be done? Because sometimes, right, if you do not know how to prioritize, you will always feel overloaded also because you feel like everything needs to be done today.
Oh.
Yeah. So I do have one person that I know here. who always feel like she need to get everything done today. She need her answer today. She need everything today. So she's always busy. It's not
Why you
Eileen.
guys look at me?
Eileen will know. She just wants it now, but she know enough that it is not a priority. But I have a staff who actually gets very stressed waiting for answer. Yeah.
Is it me?
No, it's not you, but I shouldn't name the name yet.
Okay,
Yeah.
understand.
So the point is, the person will always feel overloaded because of uncertainty. Sometimes uncertainty make you feel more work than necessarily it is.
Also, they need clarity.
Correct. So these three things I'll ask first. So are they clear? Number two, do they have the skill set, and actually are they really good, right? So now, if these three answers are settled already, okay, let's say the person is clear, then the person has the skill set, and the person actually has the right way of doing it, understand everything, then I know that it is really a manpower issue. Then I hire manpower.
But not all bosses are like that. Like some bosses really, really just give you a lot. Like
Some people really just want to squeeze you, but you also have to understand that there are some people who are really like that. There are some people who are not. So then generally, put it this way, I think employees generally don't trust bosses.
Oh.
Yeah, we generally have this idea that bosses want to squeeze something out of us. I think the best proof is in the pudding, where you actually look at what is the question this person is asking, and you give it time, do they bring in the right resources? So because if let's say today I can just straight say, hey, you have a problem, I hire more people. I can tell you every company has probably gone through this. They hire more people, the problem is not solved. And you know what? Because I hire 3 more people, right? I cannot give you the pay raise you need. That's number one. Number two, when I fire those people who are not that effective, we also have another issue. You all feel demoralized. How come this boss hire people and fire people? So sometimes we are also torn in that thing, right? You need to ask yourself, is it really a manpower issue? So usually if you go to a boss, right, this is what I would always suggest. Okay. When you go to a boss, you think it's a manpower issue, you start by telling the boss the process, and you ask the boss, you tell the boss what you think is a solution first. Now, you don't just say, hey, we lack people. No, you go to the boss and then you ask, actually, this is what we are doing. I think we can solve it temporarily with this. However, I think if this goes long enough, it's still too tiring. Because here is the bottleneck. Now, if you tell me like that, eventually I'll promote you one.
what say? Means this person very damn clear.
Correct.
And can find solution for you some more.
Correct. And because this person knows where's the issue. Yeah. But if let's say you just come there and say, oh, we don't have enough people. It's never impossible that we can do that. We need to hire more. Then generally, I know you're always looking for the easy way out. Yeah.
So it means that person that you mentioned before probably already exhausted all the solutions already and come up with the final solution. If really cannot, then we resort to...
But you need to always update me that you are looking for a solution. Like if you cannot be like, tomorrow just come and tell me, hey, can you hire people? And then I already tried all the ways already. I haven't talked to you for 3 months already.
So you don't know what ways.
Yeah, I also don't know what ways you try, right? So the only thing that I can do is ask you, what's your process?
I see.
And usually when I ask what's the process, I have to say very often people cannot answer me. Because true enough, not many people actually think about process. Yeah. I know both of you.
Your
Time
answer
to
is
think
so
more about
boss-like.
process.
It's all like really boss mindset. Like everything's all like...
Because I'm a boss, man.
I mean, it makes sense
It's like
lah.
a one-on-one like that.
Yeah. But
This
I mean,
feels like
I don't
1-on-3.
agree to a certain extent. But it's like, cause like, if most of the question is asked by fresh grad, right? When you're just like a small fry, like
kesian,
a
man.
lot
Kesian.
of things like it's not within your control. I know people
Correct.
is not they won't be daring to go out and ask questions or like to confront anyone.
Yes.
So like, if you really end up in that kind of position, what I would say is that depends what kind of boss you have, but still try to track your tasks that you have on hand at the moment. Like just jot down everything you've been doing. And then you need to know the priority as well. If they give you new tasks, like ask them, or when do you need this? Do you need this right now? Because then you just show them that I have so many things on the list right now, so I can't do it. So it's like to show them, if they say like this is priority, then it's like, okay, then I'll put this on, then I'm gonna take this out. Is that okay? Like you have to ask back them the questions.
It's a solution.
Yeah.
Leveraging.
Yeah, because you need leverage. Because if you don't show it to them, you just say, they also won't see it. Because bosses won't help you keep track what you're doing. They agak know, but they feel like, hey, maybe this person's superpower, they can do 4 tasks, 5 tasks in the day, finish.
Actually, most of the time, I don't even know what my staff are doing.
Yeah, got so many.
Actually, yeah, that's true.
Because there's so many of us.
Yeah, so for you, like starting a corporate fresh grad, I think it's a better way. So you also have a clarity on what you're doing. Then you also can see actually what's holding me back, which tasks I'm taking more time to do. If you want to go in more detail, you can also write down like what's the expected time you're gonna do for each task, and to see if you are overspending time. Is it cause of lack of technicals, or you need someone to help you to solve the problem? Like there's different ways that holding you back from finishing a task. So I think it helps you gain clarity as well. Like, is it really lack of manpower? I mean, that's on the boss side to think eventually, but from your side, is it really what's really holding you back? That's to identify.
That's
Just
quite
add in,
smart.
both of them do that to me. They will have a list of, I know what's their task.
Have you guys discussed already
So,
beforehand?
no. Actually, that's how I work with them. Like, they will tell me exactly what they're working on and what are their due dates. In fact, they have never need to complain with me that their task is too much. And most of the time, I'm the one who tell them, hey, I think you're doing too much. I think you need to hire someone. I tell them when you know. They don't need to ask me for resources because they can show me. But instead, sometimes other people, when I ask them, right, they tell me very busy. I ask them, what are you doing? They cannot answer me.
Oh, this is a classic show, don't tell. Really? Yeah, I always say, show me, don't tell me. Okay. I'll show you.
Yeah,
I actually
so-
agree with that sheet thing because Suki and I, we do have our own sheets. It's like, I call it a Eileen one-to-one sheet. And then
She's crazy
Every time
level.
meeting, She will
Serious
show me
ah?
one. She will show me that I can see how very busy. I say, okay, please don't do so much. I'll tell her.
How's this detailed, like so detailed? I won't do it until the
Time
extent,
for
but
me to make my own one.
she's crazy.
So I'll put like the date and then what I do on that day itself. Any issues, I'll just put it there bold just in case I need to ask him what should I do next. That kind of thing. But usually I'll try to give as much as solutions as I can because I'm not too sure whether my solutions are right or not. So usually I try to clarify with Peter as well. But one thing is that once you do that already, right, your boss kind of have a visual aid as to what you are currently doing, because if you don't show it on paper, it won't seem a lot already. That kind of thing. So people are quite visual, I would say.
That's true, that's
So
true.
if everything is there, it's like clear cut, you are overloaded, that kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
But what you can do with that sheet is that, so I've been doing this for all of my other jobs also, right? I use this sheet and be like, hey, I do so much already. I think I deserve an increment.
Yeah.
I deserve a promotion because I did this, that kind of thing. Because there is no way that the boss cannot say like, oh, you didn't do this though. But you can be like, on the 24th of March, I did
No
this.
wonder it's so detailed.
Yeah, she's like that one.
Oh,
Yeah.
taking notes.
Just please do that. You make your life easier.
Yes,
Yeah,
correct.
please do that.
I don't think it's for everyone.
Okay, you don't need to track every day.
Yeah.
At least
Yeah.
it's like this month, agak, these are the things that
Yeah,
I need
yeah.
to deliver. Like her one is more
My more high level lah.
her one more high level.
Because I'm not a very planner, detailed person also. I'm actually I'm all over the place one. It's like I think I slowly built over the time to how to make sure that something is documented down somewhere lah. I know it's somewhere lah sometimes. Just need to find it out.
So because once I started working, everyone say you have to document down everything, or maybe like keep the receipts for every single like conversation you've had, or when you ask for permission for certain things. So this also helps with like requesting certain things for future promotions and all that. And not only that, also for you to really keep track of what you've actually done. So this is sort of in a way keeping receipts yourself on a daily basis, is it?
Yep, correct. Because that kind of helps you shape your KPI as well. Because you can use this as a basis, like a baseline. Okay, an executive, I would say at this level, can do this much of, let's just say, videos per week, that kind of thing. So as you keep being more efficient, you would know like, oh, that's the baseline that I need to do more or become more efficient at this kind of stuff. That kind of thing. So I feel like this sheet will help you. Maybe don't be as crazy as me. Don't do it on the daily now. Okay, just do it maybe weekly. As a start.
Yeah. Maybe hourly.
No.
4 p.m. I completed this.
But these days, I do it like maybe 1 week once or maybe 2 days, depending on if I got time or not. Yeah.
Okay. I think I can add in one thing, right? When should you leave? If let's say you do after all that they've done, you show your boss, and your boss understand from your POV that you're doing that much, and your boss every time can only give you nonsense excuse of why you're doing so much, and you don't see any real way of solving this problem, then maybe it's time to leave.
We got example.
Okay, for example, let's say Aileen come to me, she said this is the amount of work, right? Yeah. Usually I will tell her, I think let's solve it this way. Now, can I immediately make her work disappear? I can't. But I'll tell her roughly how much I can reduce for her. And usually whatever I can, I will immediately call in relevant party and solve it for her immediately. If not, it will wait for 2-3 weeks, right? But I'll tell her how long it will wait. Now, because the truth is sometimes really I don't have enough resources. That's the end of story, right? And then I will also tell her upfront that how long this will wait. Now, then after that, but if let's say after that promise period, right, your boss like don't care that, and then like as if just found out again tomorrow when you say, oh, then I can tell you this boss, right, likely is just trying to squeeze the best out of you. So yeah, I would say that you prepared at least, it gives you the best thing. Yeah.
Okay, so like do what you're supposed to do on your end, but if it doesn't work, maybe it's not really your fault at that time. Then you have to assess whether this current working situation is suitable for you.
And very good one, because sometimes when you list down everything, right, you will realize that you don't want to go and negotiate your boss because you realize your work is actually really, really little. Actually, you're quite free.
Yeah.
Actually, really one. Yeah. Most people sometimes once they list, right, they become very self-aware because you need to klentong. What you gonna do that? No, imagine you write down, oh, I spent 2 days making this decision. Then I'll look at it, I'll like, 2 days making this decision, and that decision actually doesn't affect anything except yourself. Not bad, quite productive. So you cannot cheat also.
I see. So accountability for yourself and for your boss as well. I see. Okay,
But also on like knowing when to leave, right? Just to add on that one, because mental health is quite important. You shouldn't feel depressed over like work, I would say.
Yes.
So before you become depressed, right, there's this phase what we call a burnout itself. And a burnout is super, super hard to recover because I personally experienced a burnout before and it takes me at least 6 months to recover. And during that time, right, you feel so unproductive. The moment you get up from bed, right, you're just like, I don't want to leave my bed anymore. And it's not like because like, you not enough sleep the day before. It's just that you're just dragging your feet to work, that kind of thing.
Even though you're such like a career-driven woman, and you're like, I must climb corporate ladder. Now you don't even want to climb out.
Correct. I don't even want to climb out my bed. And that's the problem, right? So it takes me a while to I would say recover. And of course, I don't want any of you to like go through that as well. So I think the best way is to know when your burnout is coming because there are signals coming in already. Like your body starts to get more sick. You cannot really think clearly. You're just like, anything lah, just do only lah. That kind of feeling, right? That is like small little signs of burning out already. And that is very, very important to recognize those signs lah.
Okay.
I think Suki, you also have quite a lot of experience in this area.
Yeah.
I think I do agree. But honestly, she say like she also want to try prevent people burning out. But I would say the best way to prevent burnout is to burn out once.
Huh? Why?
Because you won't know how it feels like unless you really experience it. Like I didn't know I was in burnout phase. I was like always self-doubting like, why am I like this? I used to do work so fast. Why suddenly I cannot do work? It's like a lot of questions like asking myself, why am I suddenly like not performing, like doing like shit, that kind of thing. Like just a lot like self-thoughts. And after that, a while only I realized, I think I am quite burnt out.
So those are also signs of burnout. I see.
Denial is probably a sign of burnout.
Yeah.
Oh.
So employee is very good to take that opportunity and reset, either take a longer holiday or either you can say, I switch job. It doesn't mean it's your fault, man. Sometimes you just really need a new environment.
I see.
This is a privilege that bosses don't have lah.
Working holiday.
Yeah. like for me and that, no matter how burnout also, I have to come out of bed lah. If not, everyone got no food to eat, So there is enjoy this privilege. Yeah. So those are thinking about starting your own business. If you can get burnt out and you cannot move, then you better don't start your own business because trust me, 99% of the time you're gonna burn out quite regularly. Yeah. And if you're gonna reach a burnout, if you have an understanding boss, then I think she also sometimes will tell me, and she'll say, okay, I'm overloaded with work. Lately, I'm starting to not feel very well. Then I'll tell her, please work from home. Please don't come. Please stop everything. You need me to tell all your other parties that you're not going to work. Most of the time, she's quite workaholic. Like, she don't want to.
What if certain bosses are not that understanding? Because I know not everyone has work.
No, then leave. Really one. Then leave. Yeah, I'm quite like that one. Because the truth is, you can't change the person.
Oh, that's true.
If that person is a Chinaman, he always just want to squeeze every drop of dollar out of you, then he can't change his character one. Why he's doing that is because he's like that. So
that's true.
It's not no matter how senior you are, it is not your in your strength to do it. And number two, you must remember, especially if you're in a smaller company, the company is a reflection of the boss most of the time. Most.
Like how?
Okay, so what do I mean by that? Like, for example, here you notice that we are very open. We have staff who scold bosses. Why? Because generally, that's how I am. I don't mind. Right? Now, does it mean that there's not going to be any miscommunication? No, but you'll be able to see a more stable things. But as the team grow bigger, then there'll be ups and downs. Yeah, but nonetheless, the point is that you need to fit into the boss culture. So I'll give you a very good example. I have staff culture walk into our office and tell me that, Peter, I cannot work with you because you're very loud.
Oh.
And I'm like, what can I do? I am loud. I mean, look at me. I'm a YouTube guy. You put the camera and that's what gives the energy across the screen that people watch my YouTube. I don't just switch off because that's me. So is it my fault that I'm loud? Maybe I'm born loud as far as I'm concerned, right? That's my character type. So you can't expect me to change my character to adapt to a staff, right?
That's true.
Yeah.
Then you constantly adapt to multiple
Correct.
different
Then
stuff.
some people say, hey, Peter, you're too soft. Then how? Then I got bipolar at the end of the day. So I need to be myself. So in every company, you must remember also, it may not be your fault. It is just the company and you, they have a culture. You have your own culture that you want to live. Remember early, we talked about like, you also want to go into a company that you want. Yeah, so you want to see whether this company culture fit you or not. If this company culture doesn't fit you, it's okay to leave on. Yeah, there is always better place that can make you grow stronger. Yeah.
I see. Understand? It's like also
Well,
like
I'm not
role.
encouraging people to live like that.
It's like
Living is not a bad thing.
Living is not a bad thing. Yeah.
yeah,
Living is not a bad thing.
yeah, it could also mean there's possibility or room for better people to come in also. Like more suitable people.
Yeah, it's like tree like that. You want to be planted in the right environment. A harsh soil is good for certain kind of tree. A soft soil is good for certain kind of tree. So whatever kind of tree you are.
True. Okay. So I think we've got a pretty good amount of answers for this question. I'll move on to question number 4. This one's a bit long. This is actually an IGDM from our first episode actually. So I'll start now. Hello, the first podcast was great. Oh, thank you.
This is the time you screenshot this. You put it into your your paper of your personal list. People say the podcast is great.
You can start journaling now.
Okay. I'll show Peter at the end of the year how many times they say it was great.
Correct.
Okay. I do want to ask, is there any tips on landing the first job? What kind of method can I get notice and get interviews? Of course, I applied for many companies. Also tried reaching out in LinkedIn. Have been actively searching for 3 months now, but still no luck. I'll share a bit of my situation. I recently came back from overseas studies. I completed my bachelor degree, but I quit my master's halfway, mainly because the research my professor intended me to do wasn't something I want to do in my career path. Felt like it was wasting my time. To complete my master's, it would take me 3 years. I only did 1.5 years. I did complete all the courses, I just didn't do the thesis. Is it maybe because I'm a dropout? Might give them an image that I'm a quitter? I'm really figuring it out, but clearly going nowhere. Hope to hear from you. Thank you.
Ooh, I think maybe you all should.
Because they actually have like
think has
higher
masters.
education, further education.
Yeah, this is the most educated.
Oh, correct.
I didn't got masters.
Actually, this is also ICAW,
Yes,
right? Actually, both of them are highly qualified.
Correct.
But maybe I'll take this one because I finished my master's a few years back. I don't even remember when, but yeah, a few years back during COVID. No. Okay, never mind, I forgot, but it's okay. I got it, right? That's all that matters. But quitting masters, right? I wouldn't say it's like the end of the world because masters is really not for everyone. As you can see, right? Degree, right? A lot of people go for degree, right? After that, only like quite a few will only go to masters. Then even less will actually go to PhD. Because as you move up the theory education part, right, it gets more and more lonely, the journey itself. Yeah, so maybe what you can say, you're not a quitter for sure, okay? Maybe because like something just sparked within you, right? Before you burn out, maybe, right? Not? Yeah, so maybe how you can explain it to people as to why you quit your master's, right, is that maybe what you can say is that the research that you were doing does not really align with your career goals, and that's why you wanted to go and pursue your career instead of doing masters. Maybe that's the angle that this person can go for lah. That's what I would suggest. Yeah.
Yeah, but have you seen, like, just question, right, for the both of you, right? Because I bet that you also have friends who actually left their job or whatnot, and then or left their masters or their degree, whatever it is. But the point is that they have been trying to search for a job for quite long, but they couldn't get it. But you guys are actually performing very well at your job, right? Coming from a boss, you're probably going to record this and
Thank you.
send it over
Thank
to
you.
me one day, right? Yeah. So, but my point is this, right? Like, what's the difference that you see between these people and yourself that made you think that, probably there's a reason why I got hired and I'm doing relatively better, and these people are still kind of like lost. Yeah. Like, I'm pretty sure that you observe it, right? You just don't say it to them. But yeah.
Actually, I never observed it. I never
really?
I never really go and think why certain people didn't get hired. Yeah. Cause maybe friends around me generally, most of them they
FFA,
not just that, but it's just like people around me generally, I think they get the jobs that they want.
Yeah.
So I don't see a lot of people losing out most of the time, because people around me work really hard to get to where they want to be. Like I have friends that actually study I can't remember what degree she studied, probably like engineering. Like she studied engineering all the way. Then at the end of the day, she actually wanted to do UI UX, like something totally unrelated with the degree. So what she did is she actually put in effort to do projects by herself, and then she put in CVs to multiple places, try to get land a job, and she finally get it. So it's for me, if you put in effort, anything is possible. At this person's case, I would say generally when someone doesn't pass their interview, I always feel like maybe it's the way you position yourself, like what Eileen said. So have you tried to position sell yourself? You are a product, right? You need to sell yourself what's valuable, what company sees you, what can you bring to the company eventually. It's not just you assessing them, but they need to assess you as a good product. So you need to put out your strong points. You quit master, maybe you don't want to put emphasis on that, but you want to tell them why you quit, and you tell them what you did after. You show them that you actually had a plan and the plan worked. So it's I quit master, but this succeeded. Then everyone be like, oh yeah, that's good. Then there's a plus point.
What if they got no plan? They just quit because they really felt like this wasn't the environment for them and they were burning out.
I think they can also be honest in that sense, to say that, actually it's not what I want. But you have to structure it in a way not to say I quit because it's not something I want, so I just quit lah. If you attitude like that, I would think that of course you're a quitter lah. But you say I quit because I didn't feel like it's my path, but I wasn't sure what I want, but I know this is not what I want. So in the meantime, you still did something to research. You don't have to say you already have a result, but say you have something in your mind. I've been trying this out, so it's so far is it working well or that kind of thing. You don't have to show result immediately.
Yeah.
You have to show that effort putting in, trying. Yeah.
What if they cannot even get to the first interview stage because through the CV they already read this person quit masters, we don't want. So they cannot even get an interview. Then they cannot justify their explanation.
Maybe the CV got problem already. Because I mean, we have been on the CV receiving end. You guys have seen CVs, right? Some we actually really sit down and laugh at the CV together because really it is that ridiculous. Yeah. Imagine you get a CV, some of the line have lorem ipsum.
Huh?
Yeah.
Why?
You get one because really some people really don't put effort on. Yeah. So if your CV also like that, forget about it. And then somebody tell me you drop out. I guess I know why you drop out lah. That's the judgmental part will kick in lah, right?
I see.
No. And then on the other hand, I totally agree with what both of them say. It's really what Suki say on how you position yourself. I think one of our good paying staff here is actually not even a degree holder, right? One of our managers here, right? But the question is that how you position yourself is very important. If let's say you were to tell me, I picked out this master because originally I felt that this is where I want to go in life. But after doing it for 1.5 years, I decided that I want to stop it. Now, the reason being is because I feel like my professor doesn't want me to do the particular thing. Actually, what I did is, then I'll definitely ask you, then what you did. Now, if you tell me the first thing you did is quit, right? It means you got challenged, the first thing you do is quit. But if you tell me, actually, I went and speak to my professor after many rounds of negotiation and I tried to change my supervisor, it did not work. And I thought to myself, perhaps I already have this kind of knowledge. actually by the time I need to apply in my job, I don't need this thesis. So I think I already got what I want and I'm able to offer you. I'll be fine with that because I think you have already used your brain, like I say, right? But if let's say you just come to me and then you say, like, I quit now because it's very difficult, then it tells me that you have no ability to handle challenges, right? And you easily just want to quit. So then the question is that how you position. Obviously, this part is up to you to goreng on ma. You say whatever you want to say on ma. Then if you get caught, then you get caught. If you don't get caught, then yeah. So it depends on whether did you. Now, I have also met someone who actually told me that they left their studies because burnout. And they tell me very upfront it's because they are too far away from home. They couldn't handle it. And at the same time, something happened. So they really felt terrible. So I decided just leave and come back. And when I look at that, they don't think they want to stay in that country anyway. I'm okay with that. Yeah, because at least you have a valid reason. Yeah.
So your justification needs to be reasonable and you actually need to have a reason. If you just say something like, just quit lah, then cannot.
Yeah.
So it has to be like, okay, I quit because blah, 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 but this is the actionable steps that I've taken to amend for
Correct.
this.
One thing usually I'll ask, did your parents pay for your masters? And then if they say, oh yeah, my parents paid for it. And if in the whole conversation, right, they never even show that they felt bad for their parents, I will make an assumption that this person may not be very grateful. Yeah. I may be wrong, but the reason being is because generally if your parents will spend 50 over 1,000 or 100,000 for you for your masters and you just did not graduate and never once you show some sort of like
remorse,
right? It tells me, no matter how I promote you also in future, you won't thank me. No matter how I train you also, you won't thank me. Because you won't even be thankful for your parents. What makes you think that you'll be grateful for the company of whatever effort that I do to you? Yeah.
I see. I think we've got quite a very good amount of answers for this one as well. But moving forward, actually, the questions that I get are from Reddit itself because I noticed there are a lot of questions from Reddit Malaysia's page regarding careers, but some of them don't actually have answers. So I took the liberty to screenshot a few and I'm going to read probably one or two here. Okay? Okay, so this is actually our last question. It's a bit of a mouthful, so you guys listen properly. Yeah. Hello, accounting peeps. Help me. I'm currently doing audit in a Big Four and I hate my life. Wow.
Suki confirm. Let Suki answer. Then no need to say anything.
I have a degree in accounting and after taking some ACCA papers, I didn't know where to go. Some I simply applied to Big Four audit. Okay. It's been almost a year here, but every day I want to give up. Wow. Every day I wake up with so much stress and anxiety. I just want to resign. I guess I realized that I'm not the type of person that strive for the career ladder. Honestly, I don't have any ambition to work hard until you become the approver kind of mindset. If I have it my way, I don't want to work in a corporate setting at all. Wow. But unfortunately, I don't have the privilege to be unemployed. So I think I should leave the Big Four before I end up KMS. For the record, KMS
Killing
means,
myself.
Yes. That's a bit extreme. So where do I go? What kind of accounting job that would be okay enough but won't give me too much stress and anxiety? A job that not high pressure? I know some might say go for commercial. Yeah, but like what? Payroll, AP, AR, GL? Which is bad and which is better? Actually, what's AP, AR, GL?
So AP is account payables, AR is account receivables. So account payables like you do process payments, that kind of thing. So they go accounts payable. So bigger company, they will have separate departments for all this. So receivable is like collecting money. Like you see me always calling people collecting money. Yeah. That I think GL should be general ledger. So it's like the usual bookkeeping, if I'm not wrong. Yeah. Yeah. So it's like different areas.
Okay. As you can see, Suki
Suki does everything here.
Yeah. She's actually quite well versed in accounting. Because she's our finance lead.
You want to share with us a little bit about your qualification and what's your work experience before you actually
answer this question?
So I'm also certified chartered accountant. Yeah, I'm a chartered accountant. So I take ICAW. It's similar to ACCA. It's something similar. Like if you don't know what's ICAW, it's just something similar. Before this, I started out in a Big Four as well. So whatever this person has said, I've gone through the same, or if not worse, like kind of situation. So I was in Big Four almost for 4 years. Then after that, I moved into the banking for almost 1.5 years before I went to working holiday. So yeah, that's my experience. So I probably have corporate experience about 5 to 6 years, like in like finance related field.
But the 4 years in audit would have made you so much older and wiser.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure.
The 4 years I felt like I aged for like 8 years or 10 years kind
Is
of.
this how
feeling.
you felt also? You feel a lot of stress and anxiety. Every day I want to give up.
Yes, honestly, yes. It's like I think at one point, like how does it feel? Like the burnout I mentioned. I just like I wake up like I don't mind a car just run over me, that kind, sometimes. Like I mean it's not suicidal. It's not suicidal thoughts, but it's like, when you cross the road, you just be like, a car run over me, then run over me lah. It's okay lah. Like that. You have that kind of thought
At
just
least I
walking
take
by.
MC for the day. Is it?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I mean, or whatever lah. Like you just have a lot
For the
of
rest of her
all this
life.
random. You have all these random thoughts. So it's like I'm scared of ghosts. One. Like, I feel like ghosts is quite scary. I mean, I don't know if they exist or not, but I'm scared of ghosts. At one point, it's like you work until late night, right? Then you go toilet alone by yourself. I'll be like, just let a ghost possess me or just kill me also, I'm okay lah. Like that kind, like until that extreme one. So you'll be, yeah, it's quite normal. I would say almost everyone, or not everyone, majority of people in Big Four, they will have quite a lot of struggle lah.
That's true.
Like
I
a lot of
remember my
stress.
friends used to complain about that last time.
Then why do they stay there?
Like, okay, so in the first place, why people end up in Big Four? Cause it's prestige. Like everyone know Big Four. Like everyone knows that if you can like withstand like Big Four for like at least 2 years, they'll know that you can do work. Like you can withhold stress. And like it's a good stepping stone for whoever want to go out. And Big Four have a very steady progression. So it's like if you don't do anything like wrong, significantly wrong, like you just perform like as usual, every year you'll progress. You get progression every year. So I think there's a lot of people, like clueless people, they'll still end up going in, or people that really want to climb career ladder, they will also go into Big Four.
So like this person, they're quite clueless.
Yeah, so for this person, like I think it's very common to see how clueless people are. So they will work until the point that like this person, you'll start like wondering, what am I doing here? I don't want to climb career ladder also, but where else should I go? Like at this point, I would say just advise this person, just look out. Don't care about AP, AR, GL. Like you won't know which one is better until you try it out. And if you really want to find out more, go into LinkedIn or talk to your peers, people that have left, like find out what's their job scope like in those corporate setting. Because eventually what you want to try to do is like, you want to expand your knowledge and see what everyone's doing, and also company. Because right now you also care about culture already, not just, you just want to simply go anywhere. So and look into, you want to further find out if you want to work for this specific company, what openings they have. Like, don't have to be so particular if you don't know what you like, because you also won't know which is better.
So be open to all the experiences.
Really be open. Like, but the first step is start doing it. Because all my friends in audit, they will say, I want to leave. They are now like staying there for 2-3 years or more.
They never send a resume despite the fact they say they want to leave.
Why? Because they already say they want to leave. They should have
I
learned
would
to
say
take action.
a lot of times they find excuses. Some people say, too busy. I don't have time to update my resume. Like, work is consuming. Like, I cannot update, no time. They just find a lot of different excuses, which is true as well. Like, at one point, I also feel very burnt out. So I think I tendered even without a job for me at one point. I know some people don't have the luxury to do so, but I told myself, like, I'm just going to tender first. The job will come later. Like, I will still have like 2-3 months time for me to look out.
Oh yeah, after you tender already, your backside is burning already. So you'll be more rajin to... Yeah.
So it depends on which one you are.
Is that the case for you also? Like, did you experience this kind of burnout and then you started looking for other options, which is how you ended up here?
Yeah, I think after I experienced a burnout, then I started questioning myself what actually I wanted in life. Then I was like thinking, same as this person, I'm not planning to climb very high up. Like I don't want to stay long here as well. So I'm just looking out, trying to figure out what I want. So any finance related field, I'm just like exploring to see what's the opportunities out there. Then I ended up finding something that's interesting that I actually want to try. Luckily, it's like right after I served my notice period. So I didn't actually have any gaps. So I just went on to a next role immediately.
I see. Quite interesting. Okay, I would say this actually applies to a lot of different careers, not just accounting, because I'm pretty sure there's other careers that do experience this kind of burnout as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So
I asked Eileen. Eileen also had a good experience working in corporate very long, and then in the end, she also burned out with corporate to a certain extent, right? Yeah.
Yes.
so how do you manage in that sense?
How did I manage the burnout?
I mean, like during the burnout phase, and then like finding yourself after?
How was it like? You know, what made you so burnt out? Do you also feel like KMS? You know,
No, not to KMS. Oh, I know a new word today, KMS. You can see generational gap there. So for me, it was just more of finding back the purpose as to why I was into that job. Because for me, it's that whenever I find a job, right, that job must have impact, regardless of whatever kind it is lah. So for like where we are at today, right, the impact is that we make sure that people are financially stable and to make them happy, right? Somewhere along that lines lah. Did I get our vision right? Somewhat lah, huh?
yeah.
Yeah. So then what I do is that I do that. Then after that, what made me take the leap, right, from corporate to a startup, it was more of coming out of my comfort zone. I'm very, very comfortable with corporate. And then as I try to move out from that corporate phase, I would say, because I needed to make sure that I get more media experience, and that is what made me go out. But for me to actually take that leap, I think it took me about a year to think about how am I going to do this? Can I really do this? That kind of thing. And then that's where I found Peter, and that's where I decided to take the leap. So it took me a while to actually realize the fact that I have to do this for my career. If not, I'll just be stuck in the limbo.
What was the deciding factor? Like, I mean, you said it was because you met Peter, but what about it?
What about it? I think it was more of how he cascaded his vision to me. Because for me, is that it created impact, right? One. So it kind of ticked the first box already. The second one was the price was good lah. Yeah, I can't deny that the price was good. So that's why I decided to just go for it as well.
Sometimes I'm too generous.
It's a good thing for us.
I think she also was, just to interject, I think for the both of them, very, very different situation coming in. I think Suki was like, she chose us rather than we choose her. We just stumbled across her. For Eileen, actually, I met her before she even came for an interview here. So 42 KL, the time she was helping out, and then I went there, met her there, have a chat, everything on. Then when she was starting to look out the time, then there was already a referral there lah, from people that I know. So then as I checked her, I did some background check. Then when I spoke to her that time, I just told this one thing. I said like, but I want people to work with me full time. So then she also had some part-time gigs. So I told her, I say, I'll cover that part-time gig cost as well. And she's been very efficient since then. But I also have to say that like, when she came in, actually, quite kasihan her also lah. Because after a while, then there was some management change. Then she didn't report to me. She reported to other people, stuff like that. And then here and there were some hiccups. So only, I think, was it this year you start reporting to me?
The end of last year.
Last year about
December.
like Q4 like that. Q4 like that, then she start to see the transition. She's going to report to me. Then I think ever since then, things been good. I suppose so. Yeah. She look happy lah. Maybe she's acting right now lah. But from what I've seen is then it's much better lah. Yeah.
So I would say for this case, just quit. Correct, is it? Is
I would
this
say,
my interpretation of
just
what I got
take
from
the
you
leap.
guys?
Just take the leap.
Yeah. You may end up quitting and then you join another corporate career, or either you're like me and that you quit, you start your own business, right?
Yeah.
Or it doesn't have to be corporate. It could be like Eileen also, she joined startup, or
that's
Suki
true.
also.
But startup very stressful.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah, it's just that it is not it's a different kind of stress.
Yeah, it's different.
Different kind of stress.
Say like at least I stress for purpose. I think there's a purpose lah. Like I know what I'm stressing for lah. But in corporate, most of the time you can't see what's the value of your work.
I see. Why is that?
Why is that? Because you're just part of a small like a whole big process. You're just a part of it. You're just one small part of it. So you can't see what's your contribution towards the success. Like you don't directly contribute to a success. So sometimes you're just doing the same thing over and over again. Like you start questioning yourself. Why always do the same thing? Like, is it really beneficial to a company? Like what values does it bring? Maybe some people it's okay, but for me it's like I personally like want my work to be valuable. 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 I don't want to do something that's not valuable. I just feel like wasting my time.
I see. Like you want to have a purpose lah. Okay, understand. Well, I guess that's pretty much all the questions that we have for today. And this is a pretty long episode. So Yeah, it is. It's pretty.
I guess it's very fun, right?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It's quite real,
But
a lot of conversation, you know.
I truly hope that whoever's listening to this episode actually gets to learn from all of the questions that we've answered today. And with that said, thank you so much, Peter, Suki, and Eileen for yapping and coming on to figuring it out to help all of our audience actually figure it out. And with that said, don't forget to follow our socials at figuringit_out.pod on Instagram and actually follow our Reddit as well. I'll link it down below. Yeah, put in your questions
Put in
or
your
your stories
question.
and we'll actually try our best to answer them.
And next time we'll yap again.
And also follow MrMoney. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.